across the pond, where we look at artists and producers and what have you from the States, and we've decided to start them off again in 2024. And our first guest is going to introduce himself right now. And if you've got any questions, drop them in. If not, then just listen to the show. Anyway, would you introduce yourself?
How you all doing, beautiful people? My name is Quasey. I'm a Southern Soul artist. Recently started on my Southern Soul journey not too long ago. It's been about maybe 8 months into it, and I originally started off with R&B. I've done several different shows with various artists. Started off touring with Babyface. Also did a couple days with Fantasia, Life Jennings, and Mint Condition, just to name a few. And
Nice.
now I'm in the room with more big names in the Southern Soul industry. I also just did a show with King George, who is actually pretty hot in Southern Soul right now. So, and
Yeah.
look, much more work.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure where to put the category because I've listened to a couple of your tracks and well, I've got one sent to me which I'm not sure has been released yet, and I thought is it R&B or but so you class that as Southern Soul then? Is that what it is?
Yes, it's actually it came from the blues, and it just kind of modernized into Southern Soul. We actually just got our own little category in the Grammy, so
Oh, nice, nice.
it's a
Yeah,
rise.
I do like the vibe. I mean, you're vocally brilliant. I really like the vocals, and it's really smooth, isn't it? The sound is really smooth. I like the tunes. That's something you can get into. It's good. It's really
Yeah,
good. Really
thank
good.
you.
So is John P joining us, or is he just going to be lurking? I don't know what he's doing.
He's just gonna be looking, man. He's a big supporter of mine. That's my brother right there, man.
Oh
He
well,
always come through, always support, man.
well keep listening, John. If you want to chirp in, then feel free join the chat. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. But yeah, we used to do these quite a lot, and one thing led to another, and I got really busy, and stuff had to drop, and then. She was pestering me last week. She went, "Hey, we've got to start these up again. I've got artists for you. I've got all sorts of stuff going on." So yeah, it's nice to have you on board. So how long you been performing then?
Well, I've been doing this professionally since about 2016. That's when
Mm.
I started started off in a group, and we were called Endure. That's when I had my touring opportunity to tour with the well-known Babyface. So that was pretty great. So about 2016, but I've been singing all of my life, man. I actually I was a college athlete, played football all throughout my school career, and had a big injury, and you know, singing was the next best thing. So
Mm. Yeah, difficult that, especially if your career was going well in football. Was you quite successful in that college football or?
yeah, I mean, I was really good at football. Had a nice college career. So if I hadn't gotten injured and kind of messed up my last year, my senior year playing, I could have done a lot more with it. But a knee injury, and it was really severe, so
Oh, no good.
that kind of ended that.
No good. So are you full time? Are you full time musician? You full time touring and doing stuff? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, that's all I do right now, and it's been a long time coming because that's what I've been wanting to do the whole, my whole singing career. But I've actually just recently been able to stop working a 9 to 5 and just hone in on my craft, and that's all I'm doing right now. So it's doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, before we started the show, for this video that we recorded, I was playing your track "Stay," which I really like. It's a really good tune. It's the one we've been sent. Is that a new one, not released, or has that been released?
Stay is my new single that was just released. It's been out for about maybe 3 weeks to a month now, and it's getting pretty good review.
Oh, yeah, it's doing well. It's getting quite a lot of streams as well. If it's only been out a month, it's got quite a few streams. I just need to do something because it's off. I'll just put something on the screen so we can just. I need to change something around. Yeah, it's cool. I really like it. And I've got another track, "Real Love." What's that? Is that yet to be released?
No, that one has not been released, so that is an exclusive.
Oh,
Um,
we like exclusive here.
yeah, so I do these songs on my shows when I'm out on the road and doing shows. I do perform these songs, but these songs have not yet been released on any streaming platforms.
Oh
So this
man,
is
well,
very
we
exclusive.
we like having exclusive, and it's really nice when artists entrust us to play their tracks. And I'm in two minds whether to play that now and let people listen to it and see what they think, because I've listened to it a couple of times. I only got it sent. Well, I got it this morning, and I've listened to it a couple of times, and I really like it. It's good. People, have a listen to this. This is real love. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Casey?
It's Quasey.
Quasey. I'm dyslexic, you see, and I see Q's and U's, and I'm like, oh my god! And she did say, I thought she said Casey. And I thought, is it Casey or Quasey? What is it? What is it? It's an unusual name. That is that your name or is that your stage name?
That is my stage name. It's actually a variation of a name I was born with. See, I'm from Ghana, so
Oh, nice.
in my country, each child when they're born, we have a name that is uh it's related to our birth date. So if you were born on Thursday, which I was born on, it's really pronounced Quasi,
Right.
but put a little twist on it and made it Quasi.
I like it. I like it. It's a very unusual name. Right, people, listen to this. It's called Real Love. We like this. It might cut off for you because I think it does it on
Have
this.
you
But
ever had a real
we'll be right back,
love?
people.
You know, it's something about having that real good woman by your side that's stand with you through better or worse. If you got that, you should always hold on to it. And here's why. Some people miss this all their lives. They just let it all pass them by, never get a chance to feel real love. Yeah. Some people search and never find. Real love can be hard to find, so that's why I got to cherish mine. See, I love my woman, and I know she love me too. Even when we fuss and fight, thoughts of her still get me through. And I know I make you mad sometimes. Lord knows you can get on my nerves. But I'm here through better words, so I promise I'ma keep you first. Cause I know what I want, baby girl, I know that I want you. So just know at the end of the day, if you got me, just know I got you too. You build me up when I'm feeling low. You keep me humble and help me to grow. And I ain't never had a love like this, so it's something that you need to know, yeah. Some people miss this all their lives. They just let it all pass them by, never get a chance to feel real love, yeah. Some people search and never find. Real love can be hard to find, so that's why I got to cherish mine. Some people miss this all their lives. They just let it all pass them by, never get a chance to feel real love, yeah. Some people search and never find. Real love can be hard to find, so that's why I got to cherish mine. I know this woman loves my dirty draw. And I love this woman so much, I drink her dirty bad water. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm talking about my baby. Ain't nothing I won't do for her. Nothing. So anybody got a woman like mine, then you know you better cherish her. Cause some people miss this all their lives. They just let it all pass them by, never get a chance to feel real love, yeah. Some people search and never find. Real love can be hard to find, so that's
Well,
why
I love her
got
so
to
much,
cherish
I'd drink a
mine.
dirty bath water. That has got to be a line, hasn't it? It's got to be a line, man. I love it. That is beautiful, mate. Beautiful. It's I love the sound. I like the vibe, I like the sound. I think it's great. Really like it. I really like
Thank
it.
you. Thank
Wonderful.
you. That means a lot, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, it is nice. It's really nice. There's almost a bit of it's a bit of Luther in there. There's a little bit of Luther Vandross in there, man. You'll probably take that, won't you?
Right. Yeah.
It's got that vibe to it. It's got that vibe to it. Do you know what I mean? I love it. I do really like it. And you've basically introduced us to a new genre because I'd have just like I say, I'd probably called it something else. Eddie, one of our well, he's one of the directors, but producer. He says he's talking about American football now because he went over to Florida last year and he likes the Gators now. He's a Gators
Oh,
fan.
okay.
Yeah. So
Right.
who's your team then? Who do you support?
I like the Alabama. That's my college team. I love Alabama. I'm with the Tide, man. Roll Tide.
Excellent. And do you do anything because obviously that was a passion of yours and you want to stay in it? Do you do anything with that with the junior league or the junior teams, training anybody or doing anything like that? Or
No, mostly now I'm just a fan. I watch it every Saturday, and you know, I just like watching it now and reminiscing of the old days.
wonderful, wonderful. So well, there's various things to talk about, but where's the best place for people to find you if they were looking for you and wanted to see what you was about and what you was doing, where you're touring and where you're playing?
Right. Well, I have a website. You can always go and check out the upcoming events and everything like that. I keep it updated. It's QuaseyMusic.com. And then on any social media platform, you can always find me at I am underscore Quasey.
Right, I'm going to write that down
Mhm.
because we'll give you a follow as well. Brilliant, brilliant. So what have you got planned for 2024? You've obviously released you've released a track and you give us an exclusive, which is wonderful and very nice of you to do that. What's your plans for the rest of the year? Have you got more studio work to do? Have you got any more performing planned?
Definitely. I'm always working on new music in the studio. So that's something that's ongoing and constant. But I'm also booked up from actually now going into March. So I have a couple of show dates that I have. The next most the biggest show that I have coming up here in the near future is on the 20 no, the 17th of February. I'll be in Orange County, California, and I'll be performing with the Temptation Review and David Ruffin Jr.
Oh wow,
and the Diamond Singers. So it's a pretty big show.
yeah,
But I
that's
have a lot of things coming up. And I also have a show actually this month. It's a birthday bash in Augusta. And I'm going to be singing with a couple of the known name Southern Soul artists that'll be on that show. So big things coming. A lot
Yeah,
of things.
it sounds it. It's really. I like to see people that have obviously you've done stuff before, and then and you're doing your own thing, and you're progressing, and it sounds like you've got some major events going on, which is absolutely superb. It's wonderful.
Really.
So, have you ever entered any competitions like Voice or anything like that? Has that crossed your path, or something you've thought about?
Um, the only competition I've ever done, I was a senior in high school, and I did the American Idol. I tried out for the American Idol. I did make it to Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
But I was asked a question, and after I answered the question, I kicked myself in the butt all the time. They asked me, they said, this is a long and strenuous journey, and at that time, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to the NFL. I was playing football with
Ah,
like, one of the best athletes in the school, and you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to the league. So they asked me if the time came, would you be willing to give up your football career to pursue a life of singing? And I told them no. And then they told me, well, okay, it's gonna have to be a no from us too. So
oh
yeah,
man, no, I feel that. I bet you kick yourself every day when you think about that, don't
I
you?
did, because
Oh,
I should have at least told them yes, and then
yeah, always
see
say
how
yeah,
far I could have
man, yeah. And you
gone.
can change your mind at a later date, can't you? Do you know what I mean?
Right,
Oh, I feel for you. I feel for you. But you don't know. Things happen for a reason, I believe, don't they? So that
right.
has happened for a reason, and you've gone on to do your own thing, and who knows? Oh, that's really interesting. We sometimes ask. I sometimes ask my guests this because you can get some funny answers. Has anything? What disaster? Well, that's a disaster you've just told me there. What disasters have happened on stage? Because at the time they seem really painful, but after the events, they seem you can laugh at them. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes. But is any weird and wonderful things happen on stage?
So my first show when I was on tour with Babyface, the first show, man, you have the jitters and the nerves and everything like that. When it became my time to step out, we were in the group, we had our dance moves and everything. When it became my time to step out, I came out in the front, and there were speakers in the front of the stage, and like you could only see the people that were right there that had the front row seats in the arena. And like I was so nervous that my knees started to like shake and like buckle, and I almost flew over the front of the stage, and it was so bad because the people in the front, you could see they were like, whoa, 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 like, but some kind of way I caught myself and was able to catch my balance and I didn't fall, but that was like a really embarrassing moment, just coming out on a big stage like that for the first time. You want to do well, and I think I overall did well, but it was kind of embarrassing to almost fall off the stage.
Excellent. I like that. That's what we like. I like that. Sometimes them stories. We've had some weird and wonderful ones, and at the time they're painful, but yeah, they're quite funny to look back on. So no, that's cool. I can imagine that because that's it. You can prepare a lot of the time for things, but when you get into that moment where you're presented with, I don't know. I do public speaking, and I speak in front of various people. I've never done a massive crowd, and I'm sure. Well, I have actually. I've done quite a big crowd in a theatre, but that one, thinking back now, when I went on, I was really nervous because it was, proper coming off the stage onto a stage. There was a couple of hundred people in the room, and you think, oh my God, this is like a lot of people to talk to. So I think the only way you get over that is by keep doing it, don't you?
Right, exactly. And after a while, it becomes second nature, and it's just it gets easier and easier. I mean, you're always gonna have the jitters because you want to do well. There's
Mm,
that pressure to do well. But once you step into it and you go out there, you have the talent, and you just take that big deep breath and go. I mean, the nervousness just vanishes after that.
yeah, it does, man. Does. Right, I'm trying to get that. Try to get us up in here because they'd mess us up coming in the room. You see. Wonderful. So how'd you go on about your writing? How does that work? Because obviously, did you write those two tracks, or do you have a writer?
I write all of my music, and I pride myself on actually writing my music because I mean, no shame to any artist that doesn't, but there are a lot of artists that don't write their own music. So I do everything that you've heard so far. It's been written by me, and I find it easy to write because I talk about true experiences, and
Mm,
it's very natural. It's things that if it's not happening right now in the present, it's something that's happened before in the past, or it could be an idea of something that I look forward to happening. So I mean, writing has always been easy for me.
mm. Good. I don't. It fascinates me because I can't sing, I can't write music, and I can't play an instrument. But I adore music. But it always fascinates me how people can write lyrics, and then someone else can come along and be given those lyrics and write music to it. I find it absolutely fascinating that you can just do that. And some people can write a track in a couple of hours, and there you go. I've got a really good, even some of the massive hits we've had in the past have been written quickly. It's bizarre. I
Right.
just it's an amazing. Is it a natural skill that you've think you've always had, the writing?
I think so. And it comes effortlessly. My mother, she sang too growing
Ah.
up, and it's even in church now. She's a pastor, so even in church now, they'll play the music, and then she'll just make up words on the spot, and it sounds like a gospel song that's already out. So
Ah.
it I truly got it honest from her, and
Yeah. So she's probably one of the original MCs then, isn't she? If she's just spitting, she's just
yep,
spitting,
something like that, something
she's
like that.
she's spitting gospel bars. That's what she's doing. That is brilliant,
Yeah.
and you find that a lot that people have. You do get it from your family, and you find people that maybe become a singer now. Maybe not the parents, but the grandparents were singers, and for some reason they end up with that ability. And I think it's that we're all given these things, aren't we? You're all given different skills, and that's a cracker. I mean, for me, gospel singing, I think gospel singing is phenomenal. The harmonies, the tones, and the feeling in gospel music is. I've never been to a gospel church or anything like that, but gospel singing is out there, isn't it? Really good.
Definitely,
And I think it's
definitely.
influenced a lot of artists, past, present, and future, hasn't it? You know, you get a lot of artists that come through and they started off being gospel singers. So it's
Right.
cool. Oh, someone's asked a question here. What's the smallest venue you've played at? And what's the biggest?
Oh, well, the smallest venue would probably be like a restaurant. Now, more than ever, there are a lot of new restaurants that open up and they don't really have a lot of business and everything like that. So they'll hire me and they'll say, "Hey, we'll pay you to come and sing at our restaurant. We'll let you charge whatever you want at the door, and then you can get the money off of the door and things like that to try to bring
Nice.
business to their restaurant." So one of the smallest restaurants I did one recently. It was called uh S2 Bistro, and I really packed the place out. There was no empty seat in the house, and like the owner actually wanted me to come back and be there ongoing, you know. For the biggest venues are always festivals. So I just did this thing it's called the Chitlin Strut,
Right.
and it's in South Carolina. And with the Chitlin Strut, there are people that come from all over the world and just gather up in this one area, and they have like maybe two or three stages set up, and people go to different stages and everything, and they have different artists come out and perform. I believe it was about 75,000 people that was there.
Wow.
Chitlin Strut. So that was probably the biggest venue that I've done.
And that's got to be related to, when you said that, it's got to be related to food as well, on it.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely. They come out and get fried chitlins, you smell it in the air, and then all
So,
kind of different vendors are there.
because for us over here, that is a lot of the stuff, it's, well, some of the locations and the food. What are chitlins then? What are chitlins?
Uh, and you're gonna be.
I
I
think
don't
I
eat
think I
these,
know
but
because I used to be a butcher. But go on, tell us what chitlins are.
they are pig intestines.
That was nothing. Yeah, and deep fried, deep fried.
Yeah,
Yeah,
deep fried pig intestines.
I,
Yep.
I'm looking. I'm looking now. I'm looking now. But for the viewers out there, what we might do, just got. Let me just click on this, and you won't be able to see this, but for the benefit
Let's
of
take a look
everyone.
around the Midlands as
hang
one
on.
of the most
Let's
unique-
let's turn that off. What I'm going to do, because I've just searched that, the Chitlin Festival.
events in
This
our
is from
state made its return this
20.
weekend.
This is from 2022. So we'll bring that on screen now so everyone can see that. Here you go, people. This is what he's talking about. He's at this
19
event.
of the pandemic.
There you go.
The event includes live entertainment, a hog calling contest, and the annual beauty pageant.
Oh.
And of course, lots and lots of chitlins.
Chitlins
Downtown
everywhere. Look at it.
officials say the event draws thousands of visitors to the
Oh,
small
man, that
town
looks good.
each year.
A lot of people the first time. We had a lady come in before the pandemic came in from all the way from Paris to the Chitlin Strut. She heard about it and she came. Seeing the people enjoy it. I do the cooking, frying and the boiling, and see the people enjoy it and have fun.
Right, we'll
This
come
was
back.
its
We'll come back in the room.
55th year,
I
and
had
I'll
to
tell
put
you,
it
our
on.
photographer, he got those beautiful shots.
That's cool. I tell you what, he's got that southern brawl. I don't know if I ever say it. He's got that southern sound with him on. He has. Hey,
Right.
he's cooking the chitlins for everyone. Love it, love it. But because it's new, we don't have it. We don't have that kind of thing. We have things, but it's not like that. Very very American, isn't it? And obviously influenced from a lot of people from around the world, which is great. But he looked like a bit of a cool dude. He did.
Yeah.
So yeah, cooking away the chitlin strut. Wonderful. I like it. I like it. You've enriched us with a bit more culture.
Definitely,
Excellent.
definitely.
Excellent. I like that. I like that. It's really good. Now we need to try some chitlins. But yeah, because pigs' intestines over here would go on sausages. So they'd go on, you put, that's what sausage skins are.
Right. That's the casing for
Yeah.
sausage.
Yeah, because I've made some. I did have some in my fridge to make them myself, but there you go. Yeah, boring with details. But yeah, interesting. Have we got any questions? No, I'm looking for some more questions there. So, what other festivals have you done apart from that one? Have you done?
There was one in Orlando. It was on the Babyface tour. It was his Babyface Unapologetic tour, and we did a festival that was in Orlando, and that was a pretty big festival. before the Chitlin Strut, that might have been my biggest one. There were people as far as the eye can see, and that for me was just mind blowing. Um,
Yeah.
and actually, there's another festival that I've been put in the running for that's coming up soon. I'm still waiting on the details for that, but I have a festival that's actually coming up soon. But as far as festivals, those would be the only two that I've done. Other ones have been in like arenas. We were in the uh, what do you call it? The Pacers arena, and we filled that out. That was another babyface show.
Wow.
Also, we've been in. There was a theater that was in Indianapolis. I think it's the Oil Lucas Stadium. We did that arena as well. So, other than that, those are the biggest
Oh,
arenas.
it
And then
sounds brilliant. Sounds brilliant. Sounds really. We have a little festival here. We're doing it again. We did it last year as a trial, but it's an online one, and we do it from where I am. We've got quite a large garden, so we do it. We do it in the backyard. It's a backyard festival, but online, and we're doing that again this year. So look out for that, everybody. So that's pretty cool. And we get what we do. We get local artists. Or people not too far away. Well, last year a band came from Ireland, and we've got a band coming from Guernsey, and they're flying in. So we tried to make it local, but actually we've got people coming from all sorts. And for us, for me, that was amazing to put something on, and that's probably the nearest I'll get to having a. Do you know what I mean? Having a festival or being on a festival.
awesome, though.
Is
That's
actually,
really awesome.
it's good, man. It's really good, and we're going to do it again this year. It's going to be just online, and we'll see where we never know where it'll take us the next few years. Never know. You never know. It might be we might have our own Chitlin Strut over here. You know what I mean? We might bring it to everyone. The one that's going on. So ours would be hot dogs.
Awesome.
Ours would be hot dogs and all that sort of nonsense over here because the festival. The festivals have really evolved in the UK, and some of the foods have become really, really good food. Not just fast food, but really nice food at some festivals. So you don't know. So all good stuff. All good stuff. Wonderful. Oh, there we go. Right. I lost my train of thought then. So what would you? Because what would you advise people to do if they wanted to get into the industry? Because obviously you've progressed through it, and you've been. How did you get yourself? Two questions really. What advice would you give, and how did you get to do what you've been doing with the artists that you've been working with? Because you're not just been with local bands doing local gigs, have you?
Right. So, the best advice I could give someone that is getting into this industry is your face card is very, very important in this industry. When you are building bridges, you don't want to burn them. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Don't be dependable, be reliable. You want people to be able to say, "Hey, I've worked with this person before. He's dependable. He's on time, and when he says he's going to do something, they're going to do it." Because in this industry, it's about who you know. So if you burn bridges, and although this is a big world, it's really not as big as we think. People talk to each other, and people end up knowing each other. And you never know. You might rub someone the wrong way, but then the next time you get an opportunity, that person might have to go to that person and ask, "Hey, have you dealt with this person before?"
Yeah.
And if you burn that bridge, all that person has to say is, "Oh, they're hard to work with. I wouldn't deal with it." And then that's it for you, you know? And this industry is so delicate in that sense. I mean, people from the smallest person to the biggest person, they have your life in the balance. Like
Yeah.
they can determine whether you move forward or you get blocked off or just cut off.
So
So
true.
you really keep your face card very, very clean in this industry. And that would be probably the main reason I've been able to advance as far as I have with what I'm doing and being able to work with different people because they see my work ethic, they see that I'm dependable, and they don't mind throwing my name up in conversations. It's all about, like I said, it's all about who you know. So I've been around people, I've performed. The talent is is there. So like when people have seen me perform and they get the opportunity to be like, hey, you need to check this guy out. He's a good artist. I mean, check him out. You might like what he has. And so they put my name in the hat, and I've been able to work with various people just by my name coming up,
I,
so
I love that, and I think that's true for life in general. But I think it's very important because you're right. This is a big world, but it's a small world. We all you can quite easily within a couple of people connect with someone quite easily, can't you? And people do ask questions, and I think I kind of adopt that with what I'm doing. I go if I'm going to do a job, whatever I'm doing, want to do the best I can do, and if I'm asked to do something and be there at a certain time, I'm there, and that's what I do. And unless I'm not going to do it, then I would say no. I've got a question here from. It says, "Who?" This is a good one actually. Who is the biggest artist that Quasey, sorry, would want to be on stage with? So who would the dream performance be with?
wow, that is a good question.
It is a good question.
There's so many great artists, that I've dreamed to like work with.
Well, you can have more than one, You don't have to fix one. I'll open it up now. So
If I can have more than one,
because
then
what you might do is have more than one night. So you might have one night with whoever, and then another night with someone else. So yeah, you name a couple then, whatever, 2 or 3. It's up to you.
well, I would definitely like. I've always liked the artist Her. I don't know if you're familiar with Her,
No.
but she is a great artist. And I've always liked her music. She's a newer artist. She hasn't been out for that long, but ever since she came out, she's been like a really, really great artist. Um, she has a song with Daniel Caesar that I just love, and I would love to work with her. And that's um, on the female side of things. Then male artists, I grew up listening to Tank all the time. I've actually gotten to meet him, and, but to be able to be on stage with him, I think that would be like that would probably make my day. People tell me that I remind them of Tank and stuff. I've been hearing that all throughout my life,
Yeah.
singing and stuff like that. So um, Tank would definitely be another artist, and I also like J. Cole, man. Even though he's a rap artist, I would like to collab with him because his style of hip hop is just he's a bad guy, man. The way he puts words together and cleverly, puts them in songs and stuff like that. I just love his artistry. So that's
Yeah.
another artist I'd
Yeah.
love to work
Oh,
with.
nice. Well, yeah, because the thing is, you could just because it's out of genre or it's not your hip hop doesn't mean you can't. Because there's been some. You can see. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but you can see some collaborations with artists from different genres, and they come together and they go, "Wow, that is just amazing." I think. Try to think. Chris Stapleton, who's a southern rock, he's singing with an artist who's a pop singer, and you put them together, and it's fantastic. So I don't think there's any. You could sort of do a mashup with that, couldn't you? I'm already
Yeah.
thinking now. We could do you could do a bit of your soul singing, your southern soul, and then he could come in with with a bit of rap, and then carry on with the perfect. Could someone get hold of J. Cole and tell him it's happening? Because it's a bit like what will.i.am does, doesn't he? With his kind of stuff, he does that kind of thing. He does a bit of hip hop, but mixes in other genres and other forms of music. I think he's brilliant. He's one of my favourite artists. I really like him. He's a judge on the UK Voice as well, and he does a brilliant job. That's interesting. It's nice. It's nice to know, who you want to be with. Who's this? Oh, here we go. This is from Shires Radio 7. What would you say is your greatest strength as an artist?
My greatest strength as an artist is I think that when I do what I do, as far as when I'm doing a show or anything like that, I really try to cater to my audience. And I see a lot of artists, they just they might have a hit song or something like that. So when they perform, they're not really like they just might stand in one place. But I really try to entertain because it's really important for me, for my audience to have an experience, not just to hear me sing. I mean, obviously the talent is there, but I'm not just there to sing, but I'm an entertainer.
Correct.
So um for me, that's one of my biggest strengths because I love to cater to my audience. I want them to leave like, oh my God, like this guy, I should have been coming to his shows. Like, I gotta come to the next one. When is the next one? So I think that's really a strong suit that I have. And I strive to write like really, really do better and better each time. I ask questions. I honestly like to get feedback from people. I'm not um I don't get offended when someone gives me little small critiques and things like that because I want to be better. Because if not, I mean, what's the point? I mean, I'm
Correct.
doing it for the people, not just for myself, but for the people too. They have to like what I'm doing and they have to be entertained. You know, that's how people that have been in the industry for many, many years and have been successful, that's how they stay successful. Like Bruno Mars, he's a perfect example of what an
Yes.
entertainer is. You know, he's awesome. You know, when you see him, you're like, man, he did that. You know, so I strive to be like that. So
Yeah,
I think
I,
that's my
I
strongest.
think that's a very valid point because yes, you have got the talent. You can listen, you can hear the vocals, the lyrics, and all, that, and it's good. But if you was just stood on stage and wouldn't, and like, oh, see, people are people want to be entertained. I think people have moved away from just accepting what's put out there. Here's a tune and listening to audio because we've gone more visual, haven't we? We've got videos on YouTube or you go to a concert. People want to be entertained. And it's pretty much the same with what we do. I say I can put any idiot in this chair and they can do a show and play music because that's what they do. But it could be boring. So you need to bring another element into it that entertains people to get them to turn off from, scrolling on the phones or watching TV to come and consume what you're doing. And I think that's the same with what you're saying. I think it's brilliant. And it's good to take criticism. If you can't take criticism, then you're not gonna, not gonna get far, are you? We can all improve every day. Can improve every. I've already made some mental notes about how I can improve this after today because anyway, well, there you go. Because normally when I do my other shows with my producer, because I don't have a producer who does my shows, she gives me loads of information and loads of stuff. And today we've come on a bit cold, and I've just wanted to get to know you, and that's what we've done, which is beautiful. And
Hey, you've been doing a great job, man. I'm loving this, man.
yeah, I've done it a long time, and it's a bit like you. I don't do. Hey, I don't get paid for this. I don't, you know what I mean? I do this because it's important for the person on the other side of the camera, because it might give you a leg up, but also for me, I get to understand people. I love people. I love talking to people, and I love getting to know people, and that's why I never script any of my shows or have it all set out because otherwise you're very rigid. I like to go where the flow takes me and where the conversation goes, otherwise you can. Well, a classic example, last week we had a band on from Sweden on one of my other shows, and when they came on, I'm expecting them to all be Swedish. First guy was from Florida and the other two were from Italy, and I'm like, that's just blowing it all out of the water, isn't it? So if I'd have pre-planned a load of Swedish stuff, that'd have been it. So we got talking about him being from Florida, etc., etc. So it's wonderful. So you said at the start you're from Ghana originally. When did you move to the States?
I was still a baby. Before I had any type of cognizance, I was here. Probably about a one. I was already
Right.
in the States. So, I mean, I was just born there, but you know, I'm basically Americanized.
Well,
So,
yeah, it happens, doesn't it? Have you been back to Ghana to see
yeah,
where you're from?
I have. I've gone to. I'm actually from the city of Accra, so I've gone back to Ghana. It's been a long time. I think it's been over 10 years since I've been back. But when I went, I didn't want to come back. I don't understand really why people leave such a beautiful country to come to the United States.
Following the dream, man. Money, success, education, all that sort of stuff. So I don't know what your background with your parents were, but they've probably decided to. I'm just making an assumption. I should ask you the question. I think a lot of people transition from some beautiful parts of the world. You know, I see people that come to like live in Birmingham near me, and I think, why have you come from where you've come from to live there? Do you know what I mean? It's so I presume that's why they came over to give you and the family a better standard of living than they had. I presume.
Right.
Got to be on it.
Definitely. That I could see that being the reason. But now my father, he's just recently moved back. He came to the States, made really good money, sent money back home. Now he has this huge mansion in Ghana. He's gone and he's living a life. He comes back to the States maybe like 4 years out of the month, and then he's in Ghana for the rest. So that's kind of what I want to do myself.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Yeah, it's
good money and go back.
Yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Why not go back? And it must be also quite difficult from where you originate in the world and living in another country and growing up in that country, because like you say, you're an American, aren't you? You've grown up in America. You're an American no matter what anyone says. But also there must be an element of you goes, actually, I'm from there. That's me. That's my roots. That's where I come from. So it must be quite difficult. You know, if people have come from Italy or Sweden or wherever they are and they move to different places, there's got to be a draw that draws you back to that original place, hasn't there?
Yeah, definitely. It certainly does. And then with all the things that are going on here in America, man, I'm really trying to get out ASAP.
I don't blame you. I've got a big... Growing up in the UK, the States to us was this magical thing because TV shows. I'm of an age now, so it was all like California Highway Patrol. It was Starsky and Hutch. It was all that sort of stuff going on, and I used to look at the cars and the motorcycles and everything. I used to love it. And I went over 8 years ago. I've been over to the States a few times, but I went over to New York, and it was like being in a film set. It's like all these places I know, and I've never been here. It's like amazing. But would I live in the States? No, I wouldn't. Not unless it was on a ranch somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Then I might be tempted with that. But I love California. Been there a couple of times. I've studied at Stanford. Wonderful. Would I live there? Not sure. My cousin lives there. He lives in LA, but I don't think I could do it. I think there'd be other places on my hit list to go and live. We've already answered that question, but someone's just said, what would he call his genre of music? Southern soul, I think he calls it. Southern soul, man.
That's definitely it. Southern soul.
Another question here for you. It's coming. What does he say? What is the most unusual source of inspiration you have ever had for a song? I like that. It's a good question. That is a good question.
There's a song that I'm writing right now, and it talks about a woman that I can't stand, that I wish I never met.
Oh, nice.
So, and the inspiration came from one woman that I met. Unfortunately, I have a child by this point.
I was going to say, you're talking about a marriage or a relationship. I love that. Yeah, so, I can't wait to hear that. And people will resonate with that.
Exactly. So, and that's another thing. Like, I like to make music that people can be like, hey, I'm going through that right now. Like, I like this song. Like, and I also have another song, the last job that I worked, they didn't treat me. They didn't do me right. So I have a song for the working man, and it's called "Just Ain't Right," and I'm writing that song also. So those two will probably be two songs that came from an unusual point of inspiration.
I can't wait to hear them, and you'll have to remind us. Well, we're following you on Spotify anyway, but you'll have to remind us when they come out, because I'm really interested to listen to that. And I never understand that, why. Because I used to manage a lot of people. I used to be, 150 people used to work for me at one time. And I don't understand why you treat anybody wrong. Do you know what I mean? If they're working for, whether they're the cleaner, yeah, right up to someone, the CEO, as far as I'm concerned, treat everybody the same, talk to them all the same. You might use slightly different language, but you treat everyone the same, don't you? Because hey, the people doing a job, aren't they? Same as you. And I just don't get that, how people get mistreated in the workplace. It just doesn't make sense. And guess what? They're not going to get the best out of you, are they?
Right, they're not.
And they might even get a song written about them.
Mm-hmm.
Good question, that, Eddie. I really appreciate that, man. That's lovely. Now, I've got a question now, and you don't have to answer it, but this is something that on the other show that I normally ask. Which band or artist would you put in Room 101, never to be seen again? You don't have to answer it, though. You can be politically correct and go, I'm cool with that, man. So, who can't you stand is the question, really.
Man, there are a lot of different artists that I don't get them. I don't understand their music. I honestly don't understand how they. Well, I know how they made it as far as they made it, because now it's about, your work ethic. So now I see that you can work really hard and still get to a higher place. But I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't like Blueface.
Okay.
I don't like his music.
Is he hip hop?
Yeah, he's hip hop, and I really don't understand what he raps about.
No.
There's no type of subject matter. He's just all over the place, not on rhythm, not on a certain beat. I mean,
I do. Oh, I see. Yeah, I find it fascinating as well. This industry. I mean, what's he got? Spotify, nearly 5 million monthly listeners,
right.
and it's amazing how certain artists. I'm not saying he's not talented, by the way, but how certain artists, you see them and think, how have they made it successful? Because I'm looking at it and thinking, it's just not there, is it? And then you look at some other artists and think they should be really. It's the bizarrest industry ever, isn't it? Talent and doesn't always produce the best. They don't always rise to the top. I find it very strange. So,
right. Have you ever listened to any of his music? I'm just curious. Have you ever
I think I've seen him before, but I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's have a quick. We'll have to cut this out because when I put it on YouTube, I'll get done for it. Let's have a listen to this. This is it's called TikTok, people. Might be swearing in it.
You ain't got no circulation in your ankles, you hear me? Cause vibe to the song, man. If you got your shit on, look.
Hey, if you got that shit on, take it off, bitch. Vibe to the song from the left to the right, from the front to the back, then it's back to the right, to the left. Mop it up, clean it up, grab a cup, do your stuff, take a sip, then you dip with the hip hop. Put this on TikTok, no, not like that, like this. From the left to the right, from the front to the back, then it's back to the right, to the left. Mop it.
I get you, and I can also get why that would be popular with some of the. I've only listened to that first track, TikTok it's called, with some of the younger people, because over in the UK, you've got grime, which is very that kind of hip hop as well. So it probably appeals to a younger audience, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I don't understand. In some songs, I don't mind. I'm not a prude. I don't mind a bit of swearing. In some songs, a little bit of swearing in there, cussing, as you say in the States, is kind of acceptable. But then some artists produce stuff and it's just full of it, and there's no need for it, is there? And there's some. I used to do a hip hop show, and I used to say to some of my friends, that track is brilliant, but if you took the N word out and the C word and the B word, I could play it, and more people would play it. So unless you become mega successful, then you can get away with it, can't you? Do you know what I mean? If you become as successful as Snoop Dogg, you could probably get away with anything. But when if you try to break through, you're only going to appeal to a minority of people. And if that's what you want, then fine. I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all. So it's bizarre. Anyway, so he's in Room 101, never to be seen again. Blueface, people. Yeah. Oh, so what would you listen to when he was growing up then? What kind of music was into?
Well,
the blues?
I listened to a lot of the Isley Brothers.
Oh, nice, man.
Vandross. I listened to Joe growing up. Also Jagged Edge. People like Bobby Womack.
Oh, man.
I listened to a lot of the oldies, man, growing up, because, I listened to the music my mother listened to, and that's what we listened to.
Yeah, well, my lad's 21, and there was a TV show on yesterday, and Stevie Wonder was singing. He's 21, bearing in mind. And he went, oh, awesomeness. Stevie Wonder, love Stevie Wonder, and I think, wow, that's still enduring now after all that time, isn't it? You know, but the classics, you've named some amazing people there, and a lot of us do get influenced by what our parents listen to before we get into our own slant of music. When we get into our teens, then we rebel and get into that, don't we? So there was in my home there was always music playing, always some kind of music playing, and you've mentioned some of them right there. And my parents always had music playing. I think that's where I've got the love from it as well. And then we go off and do our own thing, don't we? And I listen to our own stuff.
Right.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Let's see if we've got. We're going to have to wrap it up soon because I've got. In fact, straight after this show, I'm doing a podcast with my friend he's from India. Lives in the UK, but he's from India. He's in his 20s, and it's really good because he says to me, "Kirk, I can't understand what you're saying sometimes because of my accent." Do you know what I mean? So it's a funny show. So I've got to do that in a few minutes. That's going to be good. Tell you what we do as well. I need to ask. I've forgotten the last one. Could you do us an artist drop so we can play it on the station? So this is say your name, and you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio, and we'll put that onto our system.
Okay. This is Quasey, and you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio.
Wonderful. Eddie will sort that out. He'll get it on there. No, we like them because it means when we're doing a show or we're doing things in the future, we play them. And my thought process also is, of all the artists I interview over many years, when they start popping up, I'll have a soundbite from them. That's quite cool, isn't it? So when you become international recognised and absolutely megastar, and you're deciding who's coming on your stage, we'll have your jingle. How cool is that? Wonderful. Have I forgot to ask you anything, or do you want to talk about anything? Is there anything you want to discuss?
I just want to give a big shout out to you, man. I really appreciate and respect what you're doing, man. It's really big of you. It really shows your heart, man. And, it's without you, people like me, we don't have a real voice, man. So you help us get our voice out there. You help us, give what gems that we do have to the people that need to hear it, man. You're that bridge. So I really appreciate what you're doing, man. And big shout out to you. And I'm gonna definitely be following you from here on out, man. And hopefully we can stay in touch. Want to give a shout out to everybody that came on to support me and listen in on this interview, man. I really do. I don't take anything for granted, man. I really appreciate and love you guys. And big shout out to just my mom, man. She's a great force in my life, man. She's my biggest cheerleader, and she's always there and always has been there.
Go Mums.
And also my team, ATL on Fire. I want to give a shout out to them and just pay homage to the people that deserve all the praise, and God deserves all the praise first. So big shout out to God.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And your mum sounds. I think your mum. I bet your mum would be a great. I bet she'd be good to interview as well. I bet she. I can imagine her now being very funny, articulate, and knows what the world's all about. I should imagine she's great. And maybe she could do some melodies on one of your tracks, couldn't she?
Actually, she is on one of my tracks.
Is she?
My very first Southern Soul song that I've ever created, it was called Mine Tonight. And she did some of the background harmonies on it, and it's so beautiful. It's actually one of my favorite songs, man.
I'll have to find that. I'll find that after the show. But seriously, I do this for someone asked me the other. Well, it's my wife actually. She's been listening to podcasts and what I mean. She says, "What is your purpose?" And I've had to think about it, and I'll tell you what I said to. There's someone today, and I won't go into who his name is, but he was in a really bad place a few years ago. And now he's got a really good job. He's doing really well. He's really getting into what he wants to get to. And I just said to my wife, that is why I do what I do, because I want to make a difference to people, whatever it is, and enjoy doing that at the same time. So if I can propel someone or help them along their journey. There's a girl, Bree Hopkins, who's from Florida, who I found singing karaoke in a band. She's now got a band. She's done studio work. She's applied for The Voice, and just to see her blossom gives me so much. You know what I mean? So much in here, and it's nice to be appreciated. And thank you for the thank you, which is great. So, What I'm going to do, I'm going to let you get on with your day, because I know it's probably about 2 p.m. your time. It's like nearly 7 p.m. here. And we're going to go out with, because you give us an exclusive, we're going to go out with Real Love. And I really like this. I wish you all the success for 2024 and beyond, and keep on doing what you're doing, man, because it's absolutely brilliant. And I know at some point we're going to see you playing in Ghana outside your dad's place with a load of people.
Definitely.
And that would make a monster video as well, mate. Monster video.
Yes.
All there with your dad bopping. And maybe you could get some, I forget what they're called now, the chitlin. You can get some of them there. Get that guy to come and cook at your house and film that. Be awesome, wouldn't it? Be awesome.
Right, man. I receive all of that, man. That's a good idea.
And I'm full of good ideas. I've never implemented any of them, but I'm full of good ideas. Just comes into my head, a bit like you rewriting. Right, I'm going to have to let you go because I've got to go off and do stuff. This has been...
Thank you, brother.
No problem. This has been a look across the pond, our first one for 2024. There's going to be more to come, and I'm so grateful that the person I know in the States has been kicking me to do these because I've missed doing them, and it is really nice to chat to people like you who are talented. So anyway, this is Dougie Stone Radio. This has not been released yet. Thank you very much, brother.
Have you
Love
ever
it.
had
Called
real
Real Love. Until next time, people, Kirk out.
You know it's something about having that real good woman by your side that stand with you through better or worse.
Love it.
If you
Love
got
it.
that, you should always hold on to it. And here's why. Some people miss this all their lives. They just let it all pass them by, never get a chance to feel real love. Yeah. Some people search and never find. Real love can be hard to find, so that's why I got to cherish mine. See, I love my woman, and I know she love me too. Even when we fuss and fight, thoughts of her still get me through. And I know I make you mad sometimes. Lord knows you can get on my nerves, but I'm here through better or worse, so I promise I'ma keep you first. Cause I know what I want, baby girl, I know that I want you. So just know at the end of the day, if you got me, just know I got you too. You build me up when I'm feeling low. You keep me humble and help me to grow. And I ain't never had a love like this, so it's something that you need to know, yeah. Some people miss this all their lives. They just let it all pass them by, never get a chance to feel real love, yeah. Some people search and never find. Real love can be hard to find, so that's why I got to cherish mine. Some people miss this all their lives. They just let it all pass them by, never get a chance to feel real love, yeah. Some people search and never find. Real love can be hard to find, so that's why I got to cherish mine. I know this woman loves my dirty draw. And I love this woman so much, I drink her dirty bad water. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm talking about my baby. Ain't nothing I won't do for her. Nothing. So anybody got a woman like mine, then you know you better cherish her. Cause some people miss this all their lives. They just let it all pass them by, never get a chance to feel real love, yeah. Some people search and never find. Real love can be hard to find, so that's why I got to cherish mine.
Wow. That was, I'm going to say his name, I'm going to call him Quasey again. Quasey. What a guy. Lovely human being. Very talented. He's given us that as an exclusive. That was called Real Love. And he's Southern Soul. Love it. And there's going to be more of these. This is my look across the pond. And it's interesting because sometimes when I'm interviewing artists, they didn't mention names, they mention places or food or festivals. And we've not got a Scooby-Doo about it, have we? We don't even understand it because we've never been there, which is great because what it means is people that are outside that bubble of the United States gets to understand it. And he is one talented guy. This has been another introducing. Don't forget to check out MI Storage, who sponsor some of my other shows. They're great. They're in the UK. Think Storage Wars, and that's what they are. They're a storage company. So anyway, I'm going to have to cut this one because I've got another podcast to do. And check us out. Keep looking. If you want to see the live interviews, go to mixcloud.com/Dougie Stone Radio for our live streaming videos or our back catalogue of recorded podcasts and shows that we do. There's lots of stuff going on the station. But until next time, Kirk out.